You need the roll call, Shelley?
None.
Okay. Any changes to the agenda?
Yeah, we need to add at 11A, copier lease. I just got the second one this morning, so didn't have it in time either on the agenda.
Copier lease at 11A. I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same? So motion carries. Item 3, review and approve the minutes from the last meeting. Last two meetings.
May 7th and May 19th.
Any questions on the minutes? If not, I need a motion to approve the May 7th and May 19th minutes. Second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same? So motion carries. Item 4, the financial reports.
While you're looking through the bills, I'll go through receivables. We've received to date about 90% of our income from state and from taxes and state aid. We've paid out about 87% of our receivable of our funds through the end of May. Cash balance on the general fund year to date is just over $1 million. Management fund has a balance of about $238,000. PEPAL is $575,891. 1 cent sales tax is $811,000 cash balance. Debt service is $5,298. Nutrition fund is $82,132. Activity fund is $341,775, and the trust and agency is just over $11,000. I did have Shelley pull some numbers on the 1 cent sales tax and the PEPAL through today. After we're done paying bills this month here, tomorrow when those go out, the balance in 1 cent sales tax will be about $897,000. And sales tax, $803,000. And PEPAL was $568,000. That's after we pay lunches for the drainage of fields and reseed for the parking lot.
568,000.
What's that?
Couple of 568.
568.
We clean up some rolls on the nutrition fund.
What did you say?
Did we clean up the rolls on the nutrition fund? I see there's some names we haven't had in school for a while. Former superintendent.
Yeah, there were a lot of accounts that had a balance in them.
Any questions on the financial reports? If not, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same? So motion carries. Any public items of discussion? So item 6, board items of discussion, the building.
Just kind of an update. We've moved 2 semi-loads worth of desks and other furniture out of the elementary building. I think we probably have 2 loads left to go. The baseball team and football team have been really big helps on that. Mr. Miller has helped us get kids lined up, and that's gone really well. I think probably we'll do a load each of the next couple of weeks, one day when the janitors are ready for it, and that will go pretty well. It's just kind of where we're at right now, and once we get it cleaned out, and we'll shut down, and we'll have to decide what we're gonna do with it, so. B is the lunch program, the summer lunch program. The summer lunch program has been doing very well. We've served, last week alone, we served 333 meals, and we've served another 130 this week already, so we've served 463 meals in 7 days. That's going well. I think as long as we can keep that number up through this week, we need to extend it through July. It's been a very good service for those that are using it. We've had a lot of comments on it. I did talk to several of the parents that were here last week and asked them, discussed with them if they would still use the program through July, and they said very much so. I think it's a good thing, and I think we need to extend that through the month of July. Kim, you said something earlier about...
Our state consultant was here today. When it's a new program, they come within the first week or 2 of your service, and she was very happy. The menus were all appropriate. We have very little waste. It's things that we can refreeze and reheat. The program is doing well. She was very happy with the numbers, and probably will go through the end of July. I too have had a lot of people asking if we're going to extend it, and had a gentleman over the weekend thank me for helping his grandkids' family out, and that's always a good feeling when you really know that you're helping people out. So yeah, I look forward to go through the end of July.
Are there people that could be using it that you haven't seen there, Kim, or is it, you think everybody's pretty much got the word out that it's going on?
I think the word is out, of those, we always got room for more.
Mm-hmm.
There's some that we see constant every day, and some kind of maybe a couple days a week, there's always some new ones, so, yeah, just keep them coming.
I think it's important to remind everybody that they don't have to live in Green to use that program. They don't have to be residents of the district. So anybody from birth to age 18 eats for free. So.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. So I guess item C then, the complaint to the IPID.
On May 16th, I got an email from Margaret Johnson at the Iowa Public Information Board that a formal complaint had been filed against myself and board members for holding illegal closed sessions. That came in at about 4 o'clock. At 4:05, I made a phone call to Ms. Johnson to ask her what the concern was. We spoke just a little bit, and over the following couple of days, there were some emails back and forth between her and I, numerous contacts between myself and the attorney for the school district. I think I spent probably about 3/4 of the day dealing with that. I sent her the board minutes and agendas from all the way from December through the meetings that we'd had up till that point. We had held any closed sessions. We'd held exempt sessions to deal with our hourly staff and negotiations, and the complaint was withdrawn several days later.
So it just goes away then, nothing happens, or?
That's my understanding.
Okay. But we had some extra expense with dealing with the attorney and that kind of stuff in there?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions on that? We'll move on to item 7, approve the end of the year bills.
We just need to approve allowing Shelley to pay the bills that come in between now and the end of the month, so we can close out fiscal 15. It's just kind of an operative thing, normal procedures.
We do that every year. So can I get a motion to approve paying the bills to the end of the year?
So moved.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed the same? So motion carries. Item 8, approve the preschool playground bid.
At this point, we've only gotten bids from one company. We're still waiting on bids from a couple other companies. The main one we're waiting on had a hold up waiting for a quote on the tile, the rubber tile that they use for safety. So I think we need to table that at this point, and if we need to, maybe we can get a quick meeting together here in a week or two, once we get those in. We may have to have something for negotiations at some point anyway.
Okay.
Will we have enough sufficient time before fall?
Yeah, as long as we take care of it in the next week or two.
Where's that going?
It'll go in, right behind where the new addition is. On the northeast corner of the school, it'll go right in, tucked back in there in the corner. Where the gazebo is,
Okay.
so it'll go back in that corner right there. And we'll stick it back in that corner so we only have to fence two sides.
Okay. We need a motion to table that.
Yep, we need a motion to table that. Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same? So motion is tabled. Item 9, approve the covered walkway for the art room.
We've been looking at covering the walkway from the elementary hallway to the art room. We've been working with modern builders. They did not give us a bid, they provided us a budget, so that we had an idea of what we would be looking at. Their projected budget, and he said this could go up or down, well, mostly down $20,000 depending on the cost of some things, but right now the budget that they've given us is about $142,000. Not sure if that's something that we want to do. He did say we could break it up into different phases. They could project manage it for us, or we could put it out for bids ourselves. And if they do the project managing on it, they would take care of the bidding process and all that. It's just a matter, that's quite a bit more than what I thought it would be, so I'm not sure that that's something that we want to pursue at this point.
Is there a security door on that? Or something?
It would have a door, it'd have windows, and with this, at this price, it had a radiant heat in the floor also. So there was a few things that we could take out to lessen the price a little bit, but it's still quite a chunk of money.
Still handicapped accessible, yeah.
Yep, it's still accessible. So I don't know if you want to table that, think about it more, or just not take any action on it, or.
Seems like a lot just to cover that sidewalk.
How many feet is that?
Because they must be talking tearing out this existing
They're gonna
sidewalk.
tear out the existing sidewalk and go straight down from the door and then alongside the building. There's gonna be an L shape.
Instead of going through there at an angle.
Yes. And then they did that to take a little bit more of the slope out.
They had to do some land, some dirt movement.
Dirt movement, and we'd have to run a culvert underneath for drainage. But I can scan this and send it to you if you want to table that. I can scan it and send it to you so you can look through it all. And
I like the idea, I don't like that cost.
Seems awful high, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what they did is it was going to be cement walls part way up, and then the interior they were going to do out of wood instead of drywall, so it would take a little bit more abuse.
Will we get any more bids on that?
It's not a bid, it's just a budget, and if we wanted to use them to be a project manager on it, then they would put it out for bids. Otherwise, we could put it out for bids and see what we get, and if we don't like the bids, then we can just not do it.
I guess I'd like to see a little more. Maybe we should table this to research it.
And I just met with them yesterday, and that was because I pushed them to get it back, so.
And isn't there different materials we can use?
A little bit, probably.
I mean,
You know, we don't have to put the heat in the floor, and we wouldn't necessarily have to run the concrete walls that high.
They've got it all.
I'm just thinking like if you could do, I don't know, I guess John's thing, but like even shed, you know, what I'm saying, like a machine shed. Not looking tacky by no
Right.
means, but
Steel side.
yeah,
Yep. And we can talk about that too.
you know,
It's just a matter of what the fire marshal will allow and not allow.
right. I just like the idea of safety and the weather, you know, just
Right.
having it be one
And yeah, and you've got the kids contained, so somebody can't come running through there and grab one or something.
Right.
And to be quite truthful, what they've drawn up is a lot fancier than what I
Right,
envisioned, so.
yeah, I think we can,
I'm gonna make a motion to table this till we research it further.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same? The motion carries, we're tabled on that one. Item 10, approve the entry change bid at the high school.
We did get a bid from Modern Builders to change the entry up here at the high school just a little bit, and what this would do is it would put another window in, on the east side of Eileen's office, so she can see who's coming in the door better, and then where the existing window is, we would put a door there, so everybody that comes in during the day would have to come through the office, with the intention of putting a magnet on that door also, so those people would have to buzz in, so it provides a little bit more security for the building. The bid on that, it was, I think it's $17,660, because they have to move some plumbing and some electrical and cut through the block. This is, I think it's a safety issue, I think it's something we should go ahead and do.
The other exits then won't be accessible from the outside then?
No, we'll lock everything else down during the day.
Do they need any modification to the other doors then?
I don't believe so at this point. Mr. Huff and I have talked about the possibility of putting like a key card access on it, at least another one at some point for the teachers to get in and out of a little easier.
And that's 17,660, that includes a door,
Yep.
electronics, everything that goes with
It
it?
doesn't include the magnet system, but it includes the door and windows and all that.
Okay, so what will magnet system entail?
I'm not sure. We met with a guy today that was gonna get us some prices on some of those things.
Okay,
I don't think it'd be too awful there. Just the magnet on one door.
okay. And they're a wired, they run a wired Eileen's desk?
They're on a wired Eileen's desk, and it's got there's a camera that goes with it, and an intercom that goes with it, so she can see who's there, and she can talk to them,
Okay,
and then she can push the button and let them in.
It's the first door, so they can be in the lobby if
They
it's.
can be in the lobby if the weather's bad, yep.
We're talking where the window is now,
Yep.
looks into the office, that would be a door.
Yep.
So that way people would come straight into there and not through the other way.
I guess my concern was if for some reason no one was near the button, you won't want anybody standing out in the rain.
Yeah, they won't be out,
Yeah,
they'll be
no.
really a pretty good place to do something like that. Because they aren't outside.
Yeah.
any further questions? Now we need a motion to approve the bid to change the entry door at the high school. Did you get more than one bid?
We tried. I've been trying to get a bid from Henkel Construction for 2 months, and they've never come to see me, and haven't called me back.
Guess I hate to approve it on one bid. I mean, I don't know what that should cost. I mean, I do think it's a good thing. I think we should do it. I just,
Right.
the cost is what it should be.
I know when I was talking to the guy from Henkel, he was concerned that we were gonna run over 25,000.
I was thinking Terry looked into that last year too. That number sounds pretty familiar, 18 to 20. Could be wrong. Seemed to me like we'd talked about this before.
And the reason that guy from Henkel was concerned is that 25 is that threshold where we go from getting quotes to getting bids, so.
We've had a very tough time finding anybody who will do these smaller jobs, what they consider to be small jobs. We've tried to work with a group to do some tuck pointing around the building and, fix some of the loose mortar and some of the cement that's cracked. And there's a well-recommended group out of Osage, and we asked them, could you at least give us a ballpark? No, either have us do it or
They wanted us to guarantee that we would give them all the work, and we weren't gonna bid.
they wouldn't even cost it out, I guess, so. And I think we went down to the lumber place and said who could do this, and, they mentioned Henkel, and they haven't even okay, yeah, we'll try.
I talked to them 3 times, and all 3 times were because I called. They were supposed to get some numbers together and call me, come visit, and they never have.
Do you want a recommendation? Try Point Builders North out of Mason City. Hinkle and Snyder's are both very big contractors. They're not going to, but
What was the name?
Point Builders North out of Mason City. They do a lot of, they've done banks, they do,
Is that who's working downtown right now?
No, I don't know who's doing that.
There's somebody typing.
I'm talking about the
downtown.
entryway if you want another bid.
Okay.
And Dan would probably know more people, but that's who I can think of off the top of my head.
So can we get a motion to table this then until our next meeting, and we'll try to get another bid? So, got a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? So motion carries. Item 11, approve the technology support contract.
Through this year, we've been using two different technology support groups. We've had one group at the high school here and another group at Allison. Networking Solutions has been doing the Allison site, and TC Networks has been doing the high school site up here. I think Dan and Amy would agree that TC Networks is much more responsive to us, so we sat down with both groups and asked them to give us prices to continue support through next year. Network Solutions, their price this year was $2,000 a month, and that's what they've quoted us for next year. TC Networks has quoted us a price of $1,500 a month. So I would recommend that we just move everything to TC Networks for our technology support for fiscal 16.
Any questions on that? Do I need a motion to approve TC Networks to be our network support service for next year? Second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same? So motion carries. Item 11A, the copier lease.
Let's see, those are down here. We've also got a situation where we've had Rico doing the copiers in Allison and Marco, out of what used to be Mason City Business Systems, doing our copiers. Our current lease payment is about $2,200 or $2,300 a month. I've got a quote from Rico, and this would be bringing 4 new machines in, 2 in each building, at $2235.57 a month. And let's see, where's Marco's was $1798.79 a month, which is going to save us about $500 a month. Currently spending $2238.75 a month is what they had. We gave them all the information. Both had the same information to work with. We told them what we wanted in our copiers and what features we wanted and didn't want, and this is what we got. So I would recommend that we move all our copiers over to Marco. It's a 5-year lease. Price is locked in. So.
You still have 2 in each building?
And we'll still have 2 in each building. We did add a couple of new features too. We added a folder at each location for folding programs and things like that. So it'll save time. So Eileen and Susie won't have to make all the folds for the programs for concerts and ball games and things like that. So.
Any questions?
When you do a 5-year lease like that, do you just use them until they start having problems with, or they need to be serviced and they replace them with another one? Or?
Marco's really good. Their service has been outstanding. They're really easy to work with. If we had problems and they couldn't fix it, they'd replace it. They have with their managed account program, I think it's if they come 3 times for the same issue, they'll put the whole machine. But generally, at the end of the 5 years, we do augment it again. One thing that Marco is able to do is they have the lease agreement through the Regents Institutes in Iowa, and they gave us that price. That's why it's such a difference.
Does that come out of the management fund then, because how it's a lease? Pepple? If there are no other questions, I need a motion to approve Marco for the copier lease.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? The motion carries. Item 12, human resources.
We just got two things real quick on human resources. We need to approve Heather Sherman as a substitute teacher. And that's one that I should have done a couple months ago and it kind of slipped by me. And then, we'd like to recommend Morgan Steer as a new 5th grade teacher.
Any questions on those two recommendations? I need a motion to approve Heather Sherman as a substitute and Morgan Steer as a 5th grade teacher.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye. Opposed, the same? So motion carries. Administrative reports. Who'd like to start?
I'll start. Wrapped up, our last board meeting was kind of the last week of school, so in those last few days where we ended up, we had a lot of exciting things going on. We did the Bearcat relays in Green and Track and Field Day in Allison, and the kids always have a good time. So thanks to Mr. Clipperton and Mrs. Thompson for planning all those, and also to all the teachers who step up, and paraeducators and everybody who step up and do a lot of extra rooting and cheering and organizing and having a good time with the kids. It's fun to I don't know, let our guard down and have a good time with them and play. It's a fun day. Last couple of days of school, our preschool students had transition days where they came over to Allison, much like the K-4 kids had done earlier in the year. When we looked at dates, those last couple days were some of our better days, as earlier in the year they are pretty pressed to get data for state assessments, and so those last couple days were a better fit for their schedule as well. So they did a lot of fun things, a lot of things based on the Very Hungry Caterpillar, making snacks and reading books and doing interactive stories and all kinds of things. So, as well as seeing the building and getting a little bit familiarized with some of the different teachers and the lay of the land, I guess, or the building layout. We're very grateful for all the help that we've had with moving. I know teachers have put in a ton of extra hours, and we have archived in both buildings some materials that were in backs of cupboards and things. So, and I know that took a lot of hard work, and I'm very appreciative. So, in addition, associates stayed and helped, and support staff were all there, and as well as we're grateful for all the high school students that came over and helped. Things went very smoothly and continue to go, do so. Summer band lessons are underway. I know we had a lot of excited elementary kids to get started with their new band instruments, so that's exciting. And then congratulations to our retiring staff, and we appreciate all of their hard work and dedication, and they will be missed. So, Mr. Huff.
Thank you, Ms. Whitaker.
You're welcome.
At the middle school, it's always a busy time at the end of the year, and there's some what are known as field trips, but they're really great learning opportunities for our students, and we're able to do those due to the fundraising that the middle schooler and the elementary school students do each year. 5th graders, they toured the Mississippi River Museum in Dubuque. Our 6th graders had an opportunity to go to the Living History Farms. 8th graders toured the 5 Sullivan Brothers Museum in Waterloo. Some other events that we've participated in is our middle school band once again performed at the Memorial Day observance in Allison. They had a very successful track season, capped with the boys winning the final Junior High Corn Bowl Conference Boys Championship there. And as tradition has it, our students and staff watched the annual Bearcat Year in Review slideshow. That's put together by Mrs. Osterberg for 5th grade, and Mrs. Ackman put together the 6th through 8th. That's always done on the last day of the school. It's kind of nice at the end of the slideshow, the middle school teachers and staff were introduced and received a standing ovation by the middle school students, thanking them and acknowledging the special work they did over the years for North Butler Middle School. North Butler High School, some highlights. We're going to miss some, obviously, but this is a pretty big deal. Our career and technical education, that's our industrial tech folks, family, consumer science, business, marketing, vocational agriculture. They have started the last couple of years doing a showcase of their programs, and it's also their consortium meeting where local CTE business partners and advisors, local business folks come in. There's a meal served, cooked by the family consumer science folks. It's done in a smoker that's built and designed by some metal students. And then there's a slideshow that kind of shows the different things they've done throughout the year, and then students kind of talk about each program and what they've learned and what they've made. It's quite a great event. We've got tremendous CTE programs here at North Butler High School. We really do. We've got great teachers leading. We've got good facilities. We're very blessed with our CTE programs here. Seniors had a big week. You know, a big thank you to the local ministerial association. They host our baccalaureate, or not our, but they host the community baccalaureate ceremony for the seniors, family, and community. That's always a very meaningful event for the seniors. We once again had a very nice awards night. Once again, all seniors who applied for local scholarships were awarded with a scholarship, and we certainly need to thank the many organization, families, and individuals who provide funds for scholarships, whether they're memorials or other type scholarships. We're really blessed with many people who do that. We had a great graduation on May 17th. This was kind of unique. I think something we can expand upon. Mr. Smith created our very first virtual art show, showcasing some really outstanding projects by our art students, and that was published on the North Butler Facebook page. Golf boys team won a sectional title. That's the first in a very long time for winning that title and qualified for the district meet. We hosted both boys and girls postseason golf meets at Round Grove. We certainly appreciate their support, allowing our team to practice and play at the golf course. We've got an outstanding local course there. We're very fortunate for that. Track, we had 2 boys relays and a discus thrower on the girls' side qualify for the state track meet. Each of those relays and the discus thrower all set North Butler records this year, and even then broke records that they set at various points in the year. I think one at the state meet, one at the qualifying meet, and Haley Landers placed again at state last year. She got second this year, third. She broke her record again and threw a personal best, so she had a great state meet. Baseball and softball are underway. We've had local experts that are schooled in nutrition, agility, and weight training have come and give some mini clinics to our athletes this summer. Our high school band also performed at the Memorial Day observance in Green. We hosted that in the high school due to some potential weather. Football field care, we've got a good person that's given us some really good, took in soil samples and then provided us with an enhancement program. Pat Bullion's kind of organizing, taking over that, and custodians are doing a great job, making a lot of progress, and cleaning rooms, moving items from different places. Once again, we'll mention our baseball and football players who really have done a great job when they've been asked, and 2 trailer loads was talked about. And as Amy mentioned, the teachers have really done a great job of putting in a lot of time and thought and extra work and getting things moved from place to place. And we had a very nice, well-attended honor and recognition ceremony for the district retirees, and we certainly want to thank those folks. They're a great group, and we'll certainly miss them.
Thank you, Mr. Huff.
Just like I talked earlier, the parking lot tiling is complete. Heartland Asphalt scheduled to be here sometime this week. They were supposed to be here yesterday, but my guess is they got tied up with some bad weather and backed up a little bit on the project that they're finishing up. Getting bids on the playground equipment. I'm meeting for the second time here, actually this week, with a young man looking for an Eagle Scout project. We're going to talk about fencing in the playground area at Allison, provide a little more safety for our kids. Don has been working really hard at cleaning up the area behind the bus barn, getting stuff out of that old metal building back there, and his goal is to hopefully be rid of most of that here before he's done on Friday, and then we'll be able to get rid of that building. Most of that building should be able to go for metal scrap, I think. He's also been, this week, we got some dirt from the co-op out here. We had 4 loads delivered to Allison, and I think we've had a couple delivered up here too. We're filling in along the building where the ground has sunk a little bit over the last few years, and we're filling in holes with that, and he's gonna seed that tomorrow, I believe. We decided not to pursue adding door and windows back here in the storage room in the library. Mr. Huff has made other arrangements for that classroom. We were talking about the classrooms, already talked about the janitors. We have a couple of teachers that have asked about painting our rooms. We had several rooms that were in pretty dire need of painting. Mrs. Landers had a good chunk of the staff down there yesterday, and they've done a really nice job. The preschool room really looks nice and bright now. Mrs. Moss will be painting her room for next year here in the next couple of weeks also. They just asked if that was okay. The janitors hadn't really not put anything into doing any painting this summer, and those rooms really needed it, so it's nice that they stepped up to do that. We hired Morgan Steer for the 5th grade position. She's a local girl, is my understanding, and from all accounts will do a really nice job. Her references checked out well according to Mrs. Wedeking. We still have the special ed opening at the high school. Applicants have not been coming in very well for that, so Mr. Huff is going to advertise it again. We already talked about the technology bids and curriculum and activities, so that's about it.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. I need a motion to approve the administrator's reports. Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. So motion carries. At this time, we have to go into a close.
No, we're not gonna go into closed session.
Okay.
We're not that far along with it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand out a couple of different forms here. One is filled out. It's the Iowa Standards for School Leaders. And the other one is the same thing, except it takes the criteria out underneath. And what I'd like for everyone to do is to read through this and then take the blank one and take what you've gotten out of the standard and the criteria underneath it and just kind of put it in words that are meaningful to you. The words that are used within this they're educator words, and I don't understand all of them. So if we take it and put it into simpler terms, then when we get ready to sit down and go through the evaluation process here next month, it'll be a little easier for us. So if you guys would look through that and go through that and then get those back to Eric here sometime in the next couple of weeks, then he and I will sit down and we'll go through them and kind of put all that together so we can put together a document for you to use in my evaluation.
So we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Thank you, everyone, for coming.
So we're not getting a closed session or what?
I don't know.